Chase Jones.
Well, we've been watching those high winds all week, and you start to see some of those low clouds moving in with some of those high clouds. Definitely seeing a lot of turbulence in the upper atmosphere, but these warm southerly winds let us know the storm is on its way. Take a good look at these overnight lows getting all the way down. I had 70 degrees. We held a little bit warmer there at 72, and then we warmed all the way up to, trust me, we tied at the record at 90 degrees. 89 right now across the entire Concho Valley, but we are watching for some of this strong, powerful thunderstorm activity to push in by tonight. Pretty early tomorrow morning, but clearing up for a beautiful Halloween. 89 in San Angelo. Everybody else joining us in a combination of those upper 80s across the entire region. We are very close together as far as temperatures. 84 in Sterling City, 86 down there in Junction. Sonora has just been the hot spot all week at 90 degrees, but you can see how close we are together, as well as those humidity values. There's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, but you can see some of those dry conditions just off to the west of the Concho Valley. Dew points are in those 40s and those 50s, all the way down into those 60s in those southern areas like Junction, while the humidity indices are in those 20s all the way up into those 40s. And by tonight, we'll see just how much they make their way up near that saturation tipping point, because some strong storms are definitely on the way. Now, the upper level pattern is going to show us where they're going to fight their way in. Right behind it, we'll see a little bit of ridging, and then another strong low pressure system starts to make its way through, and we'll see how severe that one gets. And then right behind it, another one that will cut off from the system, looking like some prolonged rain shower activity and a huge drop in temperatures all the way down into those lower 70s with those overnight lows around that 40-degree mark. Take a good look at the water vapor imagery as we're getting a good idea of how strong this cold front is. Now, we all often look at the tilt of a cold front, and because the orientation is very vertical, it's very strong, you can see a lot of this activity pushing across areas like Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, a lot of storm chasers all across the entire region. And when we look at the moisture tracker, we're going to watch this cold front push its way across the entire nation. Then we watch that sort of high pressure pull all that moisture back up for the next cold front to make its way in. You see it sort of wrap around the Concho Valley. When we look at the severe weather outlook, take a good look. It looks just like the spring. This is something that we've been tracking all day long, and they've seen a lot of tornado warnings and watches being issued all along this line. Now, it looks awfully lot like this spring, and I was talking with my producer earlier before the show, watching some of these tornadoes pop up across the entire region. Now, this is where the storm chasers are at. And as you know, here in the Concho Valley, we're always right on the tail end of all these cold fronts, but you can see it pushing down from the panhandle with a lot of that southerly cloud. Now, when we look at the futurecast, we have our eye on some of these conditions. Keep your eye around Robert Lee and Ozona. You're going to watch this storm push through pretty late tonight. Then this line is going to continue to make its way through. Once it reaches somewhere around Eden and Junction, you'll watch it explode throughout the rest of the night. Now, this is Thursday morning. Watch how it clears out of the area, and it looks beautiful. As we get closer towards those Halloween conditions, you heard Travis Griffith and you heard Sergeant Baker talking about those trick-or-treat conditions. Looking pretty prime, but make sure you're being safe out there. Then again, we're going to watch as this cloud cover starts to return for Friday night football. Looking like pretty spotty, but as the afternoon rolls around, pick your town. Let me know where you're going to be at. Spotty rain shower activity across the entire region, but we are holding on to some of those lighter winds. Now, the weekend rolls around. We're still looking at some of that cloud cover as those low pressure systems push through, and Stephen will get a closer look. So tonight, all the way back down into those mid-50s, still holding on to some of those winds and on the lookout for some of that thunderstorm activity. Then tomorrow, a little bit of a soggy start, then it breaks up for a beautiful last day of October, and then those trick-or-treat conditions are going to be absolutely beautiful. So get it out there and definitely capitalize on that candy collection as we make our way closer towards the weekend. Friday night football, looking like those temperatures are going to drop into those 80s. We start to see us lose 1 hour by Sunday as we begin November, then a huge drop in temperatures down into those 70s. And by next week, look at that, all the way down into those lower 70s with those overnight lows somewhere around those lower 40s. And we're still holding on to the rain. Stay tuned on Up at the Break. You're watching KSAN News at 5.